Resumes Made Easy, narrated by Danny Colligan. Resume, what is it? A resume is your personal advertisement designed to get you noticed. Its purpose is to help you get an interview, not a job. You want to persuade the employer that they need to meet you. How do I prepare a resume? It can take years to get your personal marketing campaign on track and designed to give exactly the right message to potential employers. Your resume is the primary tool in those marketing materials. Take your time and revisit it often to be sure that it is current and applicable for what you want to do now. How can I start to organize? Give yourself at least a couple of hours the first time you sit down to write. Begin by making lists of all your skills and accomplishments. Think broadly. Computer skills. Then focus on what's important to the employer. Create an Access database to manage mailing lists exceeding 1,000 customers. Time for personal reflection. Where have I been? Where do I want to go? What's the best way to get there? What skills do I already have? What skills do I need? What skills might be transferable? Transferable skills. What's this? Transferable skills are those that can be taken from one job to another. They are not job specific. Example, organizational skills. If you can organize an office, can you organize a schedule or a warehouse? Transferable skills. Not everyone has had experience doing the job that they now want. When you have been a waiter, how does that transfer to a customer service representative? Don't both of these use interpersonal skills, communication skills, organizational skills? When you have been a teacher, how does that transfer to a nurse? Don't both of these require problem solving, reliability and dependability, initiative? The perfect candidate. There is often no perfect candidate. Employers are left to determine which applicant is their best match, even though no one has everything that the employer desires. Don't be discouraged if you are not a perfect match, but be realistic. If you have 9 of 10 qualifications, you may be a good candidate. If you have 4 of 10, you probably will be wasting your time and theirs. Things to keep in mind. Have a generic resume, but customize it to specific jobs as much as possible. In order to tailor the resume, you need to know as much as you can about the job for which you are applying, the industry, the company, the department, the position. What does a resume look like? It should be laid out in an easy-to-read format. It should have a balance of white space and text with not too much or too little of either. Traditional 1-inch margins can be adjusted to expand or shrink the page slightly. Consider the format. Possible choices include headings and subheadings, paragraphs and indentions, columns or tables, bullets, parentheses. Use 1 or 2 of these elements, not all of them. What are the format choices? Chronological. Arrange by date with the most recent listed first. Functional. Arranged in a customized and logical order to match skills. Combination. Using elements from both chronological and functional. Which format is for me? Chronological. If you have a steady work record that shows progressive and upward growth from position to position. Functional. If you are looking to change directions and use your transferable skills, or if you have little or no work history. Combination. Uses elements from both to create the best of both worlds if done properly. What about a template? Templates are available for a resume, but one size rarely fits all. It's hard to stand out from the crowd when your resume looks like everyone else's. Hiring managers spend only a few moments on each resume. They don't read every word unless you entice them. Appearances do matter. Of course, it needs to be neat, clean, and easy to read. No huge fonts, over 12 for the body of the text, and nothing too small, under 10. Nothing funky unless you are going into a field that values creativity and funk. Times New Roman and Arial are always safe. Don't use much bold or italic. Bold is to make things stand out. If everything isn't bold, that defeats the purpose. Italic can be difficult to read for more than a few words at a time. Paper choices. Use a quality bond paper. Paper color. White or off-white. No neon glowing colors. Doesn't this hurt your eyes? What does a resume contain? Your resume is about your future, not your past, especially if you are looking to change your career path. You need to highlight what you can do, not only what you have done. The resume is not a confessional. Please don't tell all. Stick to what's relevant and marketable. List achievements. Duties are dull. Make sure that an employer can see your strengths quickly, at first glance. If you have to look hard to find your strengths, then they might never see them. Be direct. Promote only skills you enjoy using. Don't highlight things you don't want to repeat. Be honest and creative, making sure that you have given an accurate reflection of your abilities. Relate your skills to their positions. Make their job easy. Be concise. Just one page? Many job seekers have the same problem. It's hard to limit a resume to one page. The one-page rule is an excellent suggestion, but if you can't do it, spill onto page 2. Do not go beyond 1.5 to 2 pages, no matter what. Be precise. Obviously look for spelling and grammar errors. Ask for help. Have others that don't already know everything about you review your resume. Can they identify your strengths? Do they understand it? Are there areas that are unclear? The writer is too close to the problem and cannot see errors or logical items that can be condensed or eliminated. Ask Student Employment Services to do a critique. Contact information. Create a letterhead for the cover letter and resume. Do not title the document Resume, John Doe. Employers should be able to recognize a resume when they see it. Name. The most important thing here, so use a bigger and bolder font. Address block. Beware. It is perfectly logical to provide your address to an employer, right? Older logic said that a physical address shows more stability than a P.O. box. Only use real, physical addresses. Newer, more cautious logic says don't give your personal information to anyone. Once you put it in writing, there is no telling who has access to this information. This applies to websites and blogs too. This is a personal decision. Phone numbers. An interested employer will likely call you to schedule your first meeting. List home or a cell number, or both, but be sure to list a number where one can leave a message and be sure that the answering message is professional. Nothing cute or funny if you want to be taken seriously. Contact information. Email address should be professional, nothing too revealing or strange. No hotmama@aol.com or pimpdaddy@msn.com, please. Consider using a line to separate the letterhead from the resume content. Contact information. Personal website or blog. This could be a terrific asset if it is professional. However, if it includes postings about how horrible your boss is or how great that party was, complete with photos, then forget it. Here is an example of contact information in a resume. Note the name is larger, address is spelled out, state is spelled out, include area code, professional email address. Objective. What and why? An objective states the obvious. What type of job you are seeking? What would you be good at? Keep it short, but make it count. Objective. Be precise. No fluff or fillers. Avoid words that don't add anything. Include the desired position in the specific industry, the skills you will use, and what you have to contribute to the organization. A customer service position in a national call center utilizing rapid response problem-solving skills to increase customer satisfaction. A good or bad objective. For example, a retail position using my skills. The type of position, what can you offer the employer? Isn't this a better objective? For example, an electronics retail sales position using award-winning customer service and superior troubleshooting skills. The type of position, what you can offer the employer. Isn't this a stronger statement now? Here is an example of an objective in a resume. Objective names a specific job title and gives details about what employee can do for the company. Education and training. Where does this belong? After objective for new graduates with more education than experience. After experience for experienced workers with relevant work experience. What needs to be included? School, city, state, not complete address, degree or certificate title, year, GPA. If still enrolled, school, city, state, degree or certificate title, expected graduation May 2008, and GPA. Indicate anticipated date if it is within a year. If not, list dates attended and/or number of credits earned. Here is an example of education in a resume. List relevant education, academic and military, year of completion and GPA, if over 3.0. Special coursework or educational awards could also be listed here. Experience. What have you done? This contains some of the most important information for the employer. It can be called many things: professional, relevant, related experience, summary of experience, clinical or field experience, qualifications, work employment history, professional highlights, achievements, accomplishments. Creating a framework that supports the content is the most important choice. Experience, the details. If you have many types of experience and skills, consider a functional resume format and list by category with the most important categories listed first. Computer skills, proficient in MS Office, QuickBooks expert, management skills, first-rate mentoring abilities, prudent use of cost controls, training skills, classroom and OJT, instructional design, interpersonal skills, experienced public speaker, superior negotiator. Experience. Don't just list your duties. Doing what you have to do is nothing to highlight. Do mention achievements and accomplishments, things to be proud of. Experience. The details. Watch verb tenses. Use present only for your current position. Think beyond paid jobs. Volunteer work, community service, clubs, classroom projects, etc. There are lots of ways to get experience. Use dynamic words. No one said this has to be dull. Spice things up with action words that reflect your work. What's the difference here? Took orders, expedited orders, held meetings, facilitated meetings, managed staff, motivated sales staff, checked inventory, audited and validated inventory. See the power of the verbs? Quantify and qualify. Quantify. Give numbers. Supervise 12 employees. Increase production by 18%. Reduced annual overtime by $50,000. Numbers. Qualify. Provided award-winning service. Successfully managed multiple sites. Provided compassionate nursing care. Descriptors. Here is an example of experience in a resume. Dates by year, job title, company, city and state, activities and skills required to do the job. Dates, the rules. Always include years of employment, months are sometimes not necessary. Year graduated or years attended for relevant education. How far back do I need to go on my work history? 10 years is the norm. Relevant experience that is older than 10 years can be included. Irrelevant experience that is more recent can be left off, but beware of creating gaps in your dates. Avoid the myths and stereotypes. Too young with little experience. Having little experience on your resume may signal a training challenge. Someone with no responsibility or work ethic. Too old with too much experience. Having excessive experience on your resume may signal someone who's obsolete and unwilling to accept new challenges. Know how much is enough. Gaps in time. What's up? It is possible to camouflage some gaps by omitting months from your job history. Remember that this is your marketing piece. It is your prerogative to format to your advantage. For example, Manager, XYZ Corporation, January 2002, March 2003. Unemployed, April 2003, July 2004. Manager ABC Corporation, August 2004, present. Becomes Manager XYZ Corporation, 2002-2003. Manager ABC Corporation, 2004, present. Aren't both of these correct? Which one looks better to the employer? If you wish to more specifically account for your time, it is okay to use unpaid titles like full-time parent, caretaker for terminally ill mother, volunteer. List your skills and accomplishment here too. Red flags. Don't list illnesses, incarcerations, unemployment. Be prepared to discuss gaps honestly. Extra information. What else would you like the employer to know about you? Volunteer community service, professional affiliations, membership, licenses and certification, honors, awards, if relevant and recent, interests, activities, hobbies. Extra. Interests, activities, hobbies. Consider the relevance. If this matches some aspect of the job, then include it. Scuba diving for marine biologist, golf for a landscape architect. But be aware, don't discuss religion or politics unless relevant. Here is an example of accomplishments in a resume. This section can be titled whatever makes sense, like honors, awards, or accomplishments. It contains what sets you apart from the crowd. Now, what's next? Now that you have a well-designed resume, it is time to get it to employers. Carefully follow any instructions regarding how to apply. Craft an individualized cover letter for each position and include this with your top-notch resume. Test your knowledge. Thank you for completing the Student Employment Services Resume Writing Workshop. Test how well you understand the material before you create your winning resume by completing a short quiz.